We've been living in our Airstream at the KOA in Tucson for just about a year now. Which is kind of crazy, yes. We're about to set sail on our adventures, which we are so excited about, and I'm sure you are too, because we've been in this one place for so long.
And you're sick of hearing us talk about the fact that
we will go. We're going, we promise.
Anyway.
But we thought before we leave, we should share what we have learned both about ourselves and just some tips from living in an RV resort for a full year.
Let's go.
Okay, we're going to start with things we learned about ourselves.
All right, let's do it.
First, we like back-in spots, which, I mean, you'd think a pull-through would be preferred.
It's easier to get into, but you often have more privacy when you back in.
Yes,
because you're up against
something. So not a back-in against another campsite, because that defeats the purpose. Correct. And we had a back-in spot against a wall that bordered a highway, which was kind of noisy. So our favorite so far has been a backing to a neighborhood. Much better.
Yes, indeed.
We also don't really like planned activities. We knew this one, but I kind of thought maybe we'd get into some of the activities at the KOA.
Yeah, I mean, when you're camping at a campground like this, the activities are geared, in general, towards those of a more advanced age.
Or children.
Or children, yes. So it's the real young or the a little bit older. So we're kind of in the middle, and don't really see ourselves fitting in all that well.
And we just don't really like planned activities.
That kind of thing. Yeah, we don't like socializing because we're introverts.
Along the same lines, the perks don't really matter that much as I thought they would either. Some perks are cool, but the pool and the hot tub, while Steve used them a decent amount because he worked from home, I've very seldom used them. So I guess it depends on who you are. But it doesn't really matter that much to us. What did matter and what does matter are the location and the outdoor space. Because location in order to get everywhere.
Yeah.
And outdoor space because you live in a tiny home.
Yeah, I mean, you have to enjoy where you are, the scenery and the weather and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
some trees about,
will always be important.
Yeah, and not living right on concrete is always nice.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, there are places here in Tucson that are concrete and have much better location, but the trees are nice.
We have citrus
trees. That is a perk we like.
We have an orange tree right behind the Airstream. Delicious, sweet oranges anytime I want. It's awesome.
We also realized that neighbors don't really matter that much. Maybe if you had a really awful neighbor, it would matter.
Yeah.
But we've had a number of different neighbors over the course of the year, and while some have been better than others,
they've been quiet.
Which actually I'll throw in a tip right here, which was going to be the next section, but if you want a stable, quiet location in an RV park, park near the work campers. At least for us.
At least that's been the case here at the KOA.
It's not constant people changing out every week. They tend to be there for a long period of time. They're working, and they tend to just be quieter folks. I don't know.
In general,
not really.
That's been true.
I'm
for
sure
us.
that's not always true, but that's been true for us. We also like the off-season better than we like the on-season, mostly because of the crowds. Obviously, the weather is better on the on-season normally, but
like right now.
Yeah, but it is also much more crowded.
For sure.
And so, less people, less crowds. We prefer.
Everything's always open.
Yeah.
You don't have to share the hot tub with that other.
Or wait for laundry facilities or showers or anything like that. So there are positive parts to being here in the summer. Doesn't mean we're going to do it again though. The last one is don't judge a person by their rig or vice versa, which we knew, but living here has only cemented that, I think. You see all sorts of people in all sorts of rigs.
For sure.
And many of which you would not connect the two if you were to have like a game trying to connect who lived in what rig.
The most boring game ever. But
I think it could be fun.
We've seen people in like 10-foot trailers to $1 million 44-foot
And who you would think
Prevost.
to be in which one, it sometimes surprises
Yeah,
you.
when they're out walking around, you have no idea.
Yeah.
It's not like they're walking around with gold chains and $500 shoes. They're walking around like you and I would.
Yeah.
So,
It's very interesting.
yeah.
So a couple more tips if you are going to be staying any kind of long term in a park. Make sure your park allows work on your trailer or your home.
That's been very convenient.
Yeah, I don't know what we would have done if we couldn't do even just simple things. I mean, we did big renovations, but there's parks that won't allow you to do like sewing machine type stuff. Like there's
Yeah, those aren't worth staying at.
yeah. So if you're gonna stay
We
long
did the
term,
antenna, we did the floors, we did the baseboards,
Desk,
we did the desk, all that sawing,
curtains,
jigsaw outside,
the toilet,
all day long. Video there about that.
Oh,
That
well,
was loud.
which one?
And,
We just mentioned like 6. Which video are we showing now?
the one where sawing outside
Floors.
floors. Yes.
We'll put that there. You can check out our DIY playlist if you want to see the rest of those. I'll also link that. Okay. Other tips. Don't stay under things that drip. That's an odd one.
I don't know, trees or solar panels.
The solar panels. We stayed under solar panels during the summer so that we'd have shade in the hottest months. Do not regret doing that at all. However, anything above can drip if it rains. And a rain is a nice gentle sound. A drip is not.
Incessant drip. It's like we were being waterboarded in
It was
bed.
awful. And we've heard people have the
couldn't go
same
to sleep. It was
experiences under
incessant.
light posts and other things. So,
even
not
trees,
something you normally
but-
think about, but don't stay under something that drips because it will annoy you to no end.
Or be prepared to move.
And the last one is always check your meter because sometimes your electricity readings do not go as they should.
Yes. Very wonky.
Very wonky.
Whether that's intentional, usually it's not. Usually it's just a mistake. But
you
you
should
certainly don't want
still-
to pay more than...
Yeah, check.
Yeah.
It took us a month or two to actually understand what was going on and realize that something was wrong. So if we had been checking our meters and keeping track ourselves, which we will do from now on, we would have noticed things much quicker.
Lesson learned.
So those are our lessons we've learned about ourselves and just tips in general after living in a KOA for an entire
Yeah.
year.
We'll probably do this again next year, and our tips and lessons learned will be completely different.
Exactly, but we will not have lived in one place for an entire year.
Exactly.
So lots of different things to learn coming
All over
up.
the Northwest.
Yeah. So that's it for this Tuesday talk. As always, if you like these things, we'd love it if you give us a thumbs up. And
would be
comment
nice.
below if you have other tips about long-term, I was going to say travel, but that's not what I meant. Staying long-term in a park, in your RV. I know a bunch of people do like 6 months at a time. So if you've learned anything that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear it. And if you have any questions for a future Tuesday talk,
We're all ears, man.
type below.
Yep.
And we will see you next week. Bye, guys.